Hi, my name is Lee and this is my project 2 presentation. So my keyword for new grammar of ornament is identity. I believe ornament portrays identity of one's and it is irreplaceable. Identity talk about individuality and recognizability. Identity is the character uniqueness or distinction of the object. A strong individuality leads to a great recognizability and this brings toward the identity. In this context, in craft, the expression of the puppet shows its identity. For example, each puppet's character has their own distinction. And for the site, the ecosystem is the identity. The uniqueness geographical location creates rich ecosystem. This makes Bang Kachao as green lung of Bangkok. In Shadow Puppet, there are two key elements in character build-up to show the identity. One is detailness and the second is the item of puppet having. For example, the king puppet has a well-decorated shirt and is colorful. This is to show the status of a king. The ring also is a key element to portray the high status of a puppet. Then there is a sword as item that represent the king. Different puppet will have different items that represent the character. Here are some other examples. The queen will have the rings, and then the god Shiva will have her halo, her weapon, and her bow. And both of them are well decorated. If we compare a character with high status and ordinary character, we can see the main difference is the color and the detailness. The ordinary mostly will color in black and will have less ornamental punch hole. The identity of the site is ecosystem. Bang Kachao as Bangkok Green Lux consists of three types of forest and agriculture. This vegetation has attracted a lot of fauna, especially birds. These are each type of dominant species of each forest. They have their own uniqueness in terms of leaf, trunk, and roots, with different shape and form, which give distinction among the vegetation to show their own identity. In my new ornament drawing, I extract out the individuality of the ecosystem and then merge into the character build-up of shadow puppets to show the general idea of identity as new grammar of ornaments. So here are there's a leaf of each forest, and then here is the outline shape of the Bang Kachao to show the uniqueness of the geographical location. So here is the flower pattern to represent the flora of Kachao. This is the ditch pattern as represent the agriculture activities in Bang Kachao. So at the bottom here is the each roots of each forest, and here is the end products. So the background is the side context of Bang Kachao, where the Bang Kachao is a harmonious place compared to a hectic city. My building element is column. Using the expression of craft and ecosystem of site in my design. So generally the form is a tree-like structure with the body to show the expression of the puppets. So my idea is to create a series of columns where each column to represent a character identity through expressions. So I made a comparison of different puppets. For example, the crown for each of the puppet has different pattern, same to their necklace and arm. The major difference will be the item of each of them having. So I extract out this ornamental pattern and put on my column by extrusion. I use extrusion because in the craft this pattern is quite small and hardly to detect. So by extrusion it can give a strong visual and portrays the identity of each character. So here's the king, the queen, and god Shiva. Moving to design brief, in macro context, the issue I'm looking into is the urban stress, which causes depression, anxiety, and other mental illness. Urban stress is caused by when the city is crowded with people, and the noise pollution and other pollution too. My intention in my program is a shadow puppet art center with a rehabilitation garden, using entertainment and nature therapy on dealing this issue. Nature therapy has a category called horticulture therapy, which uses the plants and gardening activity to heal mentally and physically. It can be divided into two areas, the passive and the active. The passive is more on like strolling and sitting in the garden, while the active is involve gardening activities such as pot planting and flower sandbag workshop. All this therapy involves sensory. When we see the color of vegetation and flower, we touch the plants and we smell the scents. These activities help in relieve stress. The shadow puppet will be an entertainment to bring happiness to the users. There will be workshop, training courses, and performance for locals and tourists to participate. Generally, the craft center will be a spot for relaxing and have a break from city hectic life. So here's some photo of the site. So the pier will be the only entrance to the site. So as the pier is the only entrance to the site, so upon approaching, I want it to remain as a flora view. So the front will be a green space, and then the functional space will be more inwards. As the shadow puppets involve music, it is better to have vegetation to buffer it to prevent discomfort to the residential. So the craft center will be at the back, and then so that the vegetation in front and the side will be used as to buffer the sound. Then I elevated the craft art center so that at the ground level there will be no obstruction of the continuous view to the flora. Also, the rooftop will be act as like a viewing deck, so to overview the overall site. The craft center will be distributed into 3 levels. This is based on the terminology of tree, such as the root as the foundation, trunk as main support, and the leaf or fruit as product. Imply this to the craft. The puppet craft making and its history as the foundation, so the space will be at the ground floor. The puppet master as the main support, so the training area will be at the first floor, and the performance as product will be at the second floor. So this is the schematic section of the program. The area towards the entrance will be covered with vegetation so that when people approach, they will still see the greeneries as the site. Here is the pot planting, so the user either can bring back or they can just put hanging at the side. Then I apply my building element into the garden, so it blends as to show as a tree form, yet also portray the identity of a shadow puppets. Here is the craft center. As the shadow puppet traditionally is performed during the night, so during the daytime, the space at the performance will be used as a viewing deck towards the Bangkachau to enjoy the green scenery. That's all for my presentations.